Today we're going to be talking about traditional bows. I'm a sucker for traditions. That's why I do organic farming. That's why I do things the way I do. I'm just a sucker for tradition, and I want to use the least amount of machinery as possible. That being said, the other thing, why doesn't anybody talk about this? We lose so much by not keeping with tradition and ancient knowledge, right? Think about how your food's packaged. Do you know how to package your food? Do you know how it was packaged in ancient times? That's a good question. I do, but that's a whole nother story. So we're going to talk about this bow. I've got an English longbow here from Crow's Head Archery that I thoroughly enjoy. It's a great bow. But the thing is there's moisture in wood, right? No matter how dry it is, there's always moisture in wood. If it's super dry, you're going to pull your bow back, you're going to pull your string back, and the bow's just going to snap, right? You don't want that to happen. You don't want any part of this bow to break. It's a beautiful piece of art, right? For the, let's say it's too wet, right? It's going to bend and bend and bend and bend and not give you full force on your arrow, driving that arrow to the target, right? So you want to keep this thing healthy. How do you do that? You keep it inside, you keep it out of the elements, but we also need to put a wax on it, right? I'm assuming in ancient times, this is just an assumption, that they probably would have used oils from meats that they had cooked and things like that. Maybe gave it a little rub down every now and then. But today, I'm going to show you guys how to paste wax your wooden longbows. Now this one's a little bit more complicated because I've got a linen lining on the front side of it, along with this leather handle. I'm not too worried about getting wax all over that, because for me, traditional and trying to get away from the mainstream, I'm not so worried about how it looks. I want it to function. I want it to be good and functioning. If you're worried about how it looks, this paste wax may not be a great idea for, depending on what you have going on. For me, I'm going to put it all over this thing, and it's going to be just fine, and that'll be great for me. So, materials you need. You need your bow, possibly gloves if you'd like them. You need some rags, right? Let's see here. It also says that you would need, alcoholic beverage. Alcoholic beverage is really good when you're doing work like this. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take a very tiny amount, and we're going to get it on our cloth, right? And mine is really cold because it was outside, and we're just going to rub that in. Okay, just gonna rub it in, and I'm gonna get in trouble because I got paste wax on the floor. So you know what? We're gonna turn to the bathroom. We're gonna take this project to the bathrooms, where things are safe. And if you get stuff on the floor, it's not that big of a deal. The only reason I'm doing this inside is so I can make a video of it, because it's dark outside right now. My lamps have stopped working. Alright. And you know what I like to do? In the notches there, I really like to get in to the notches. And this top part here is just going to soak that wax up. So I'm going to put that wax in the top too. Just right on the tip. Right? Now I gotta get my paste wax because I moved my whole operation. Why does everything gotta be so serious, huh? Why can't things... Hey! Oh, shit. Why can't people screw up every once in a while, huh? Alright. So we got that. I'm gonna do a little more paste wax. And honestly, most paste wax is pretty much similar quality. So you can get all sorts of paste wax. It's going to be just fine. All you're trying to do is moisturize your bow. Make it silky smooth. So I'm even going to put it on the linen here. And we're just going to make sure we're going with the grain. And I'm going to go right over the leather because the paste wax isn't going to hurt the leather. Get a little bit more here. And I like using the cloth. You don't need to. You can grab a chunk of this paste wax if you wanted and just do it with your hand. But I kind of have a thing about my hands being sticky, and that's my only problem with that. So get this nice and waxed up all the way around. Now, the cool part about this cloth here is I'm going to save this cloth. And now I'm going to have 3 cloths essentially. One of the cloths is going to be for application. So that one's going to be oily all the time. And usually I'll put that in a tin can so it can stay oily, right? I'll put them all in a tin can. But you want them to be separate. You want one to be fairly oily. And you can smell this stuff. It smells great. I want the one to be fairly oily. Alright. That looks good. I think, yeah. Might grab a little bit more. Okay, back to what we're saying. Come on, Zach. Focus, focus, focus. One to be fairly oily. The third one's going to be for buffing, right? So it's going to get a little more oily. Or the second one, sorry. Good Lord. So the second one's going to be a little bit more oily than the application one, right? And then the third one I use as a buffing kind of cleanup type of thing. Since this is just a bow, and it's not like a floor, you don't need like an industrial buffer or anything like that. But you do want to make sure that you're cleaning some of it off as you buff it in. So I'm going to take some of this. I'm just going to do it by hand a little bit. And you know what? I might apply some more of this tomorrow. But you're going to leave it, let it dry. For, I would say 10 to 30 minutes. We're going to let this sucker dry. And then we're going to come back and we're just going to buff it out. So we'll be back in just a minute. Alright, remember how I said beer was an ingredient in your waxing of your bow? I've had plenty of that. So, all we're going to do here, I'm not editing that out at all. I'm not editing nothing out. Okay, so now we're just going to take this, and I don't know if you could see this. If you could see the color change. Nah, probably not. This is how it works in my house. People yell for no reason. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is we're gonna take this. We got people in the background. Listen to Bachelor. They have to get their Bachelor on. Okay, so we're just gonna buff this out. And that harsh sound that you hear, that's just the linen lining on top. Not a big deal. We're just going to buff this out with one rag. As my mother-in-law would say, this smells like turpentine. Take it outside. But we're making a video, so it is what it is. Alright, so I've buffed it with one rag. And now we're going to buff it with another. Brand new rag. Want to make sure we get every spot. Buff that out. Leather, flip it over, alright, and that is how you paste wax a bow. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Take a drink for me, because I've taken plenty tonight, so rate, comment, subscribe. We'll talk to you guys later.